Hey guys, this is Katrina with IdeateTV, and I'm here with Lawson, who's also an FX artist. Hi Lawson, how's it going?
Hey there. I'm doing great.
Awesome. So tell me your experience as an FX artist. How long have you been doing this for?
So I've been into visual effects since I was a kid. It's always been something that I wanted to do. I started teaching myself computer graphics when I was probably 10 or 12 years old. And so I've been doing it since then. I've had my company in Los Angeles since 2011, Barnstorm Visual Effects. And yeah.
And why did you choose FX out of all the different ways of creativity? Because I was actually interested in illustration before. I was an artist, but just kind of shifted.
I've always had a very active imagination, and as a child, when I would play make believe, I always wanted it to be better than it was. I wanted it to be more real, more believable, more visceral. And then I found out that there are people whose responsibility in movies is doing all those make-believe things, and they spend a ton of effort and money and time doing it and make-believe. And that's what visual effects really is to me, is people who make models, people who make these fantastical things as their job. And so that appealed to me, not just for the fun of it, but because I was so serious about making what I did better, even as a kid.
That's really cool. So what is kind of your main focus, or what inspires you? Like, is there any themes in terms of the things that you do as an FX artist?
My inspiration comes from a lot of different places. I definitely, what I love about visual effects is the fact that we're trying to make the unreal feel real. So I get inspiration from things in everyday life. I take pictures of a billboard on the wall, or bricks, or a stain on the ground, and say, oh, that reminds me of something, that feels like something. I don't feel like I have an issue with the just sort of creative, imaginative part of it. So much of it is looking for the inspiration in the real world. Just the mundanity is because that's the blend of visual effects, right? You're taking fantastical things, but you're trying to turn them into believable things.
Do you ever hit kind of like you're just lost and confused with how to kind of transfer that creativity?
There's no time. There's no time to be indecisive about what to do. The creativity is a thing where some people believe that inspiration is just a thing that strikes you. But for me, inspiration is something that you have to work on. You have to chase it down and tackle it sometimes. You have to work at it. And so sometimes I don't know what I'm going to do in a situation, or I don't know how we're going to create a certain effect. But I do know that I've always been able to do it in the past, and that if I work hard enough on it, work with my team, think about it, eventually it will happen. That's how I know I can do it, is because you just work hard enough on it and it'll happen.
That's really moving and encouraging, because sometimes as artists, you always kind of face that. Will you ever lose that inspiration, or will you ever lose that, or you kind of get engulfed with all these doubts and fears? So I asked that, and to say that you keep pushing. And how long have you been doing this again?
I've been doing visual effects for really more than half of my life. I've been doing it professionally for probably 15 years at this point.
So last one, for all the viewers and people like me out there, what advice would you give our generation, the millennials, onwards?
Just general advice, or specific advice?
As an artist.
As an artist, I would say it's not always going to be easy. People tell you to pursue what you're passionate about, but passion will only take you halfway. I think you need to really work at it, and creating great things is not always fun. So there's a balance of the things that you enjoy and putting that work in, and really to create the best stuff that you're capable of, you have to be willing to sort of push through those times of doubt and of frustration and tiredness, and balance your passion with your sense of hard work.
Very, very meaningful. Thank you so much, Lawson.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Again, this is Katrina with IdeateTV. Cheers, guys.